Yo, Kingearner coming to y'all live and direct. Sammy the Bull knew what he was doing. Alpo knew what he was doing. AZ knew what he was doing. All the rats of this time that they kind of know what they were doing because, what they were going to do. The reason why they knew what they were going to do is because you're not going to tell me that an individual that got like lots of money is not going to take time out to find out what the government does. Or, let's keep it 100, may have gotten grabbed and no one knew they got grabbed and wound up telling anyway. It's no way these guys were just able to move around like nothing is going on and get to all these coins. Somebody or somebody amongst them then got caught up and they've been questioned before, but we just didn't know about it. This is why these individuals get these long runs like that. Now, my goal to the youngins, the reason why I use guys like Alpo Martino's the rat, Alpo rather, AZ the rat, Sammy the Bull the rat, Frank Lucas the rat. The reason why I use these guys' names is because a lot of our parents are missing this. A lot of our mothers and fathers, they work so much so they don't get a chance to watch their child walk to the Chinese store and might only have enough money for him and his little brother and another child, or, from nobody. Like everybody in the house not eating equally or having the right meal, but yet walk past this drug dealer might say, "What's up, young?" and give him $10. The thing is, the drug dealers aren't coming forward. The ones that are confidential informants, of course, they're not going to come forward, but the ones that have told before, I feel as though they shouldn't ever be a part of the streets again. And their goal when they come home, even though I would not like for them to deal with them, but I would be more understanding if a rat would just raise their hand and say, "Listen, youngin, I thought I was a killer. I thought I was this. I thought I was that. But as soon as the government grabbed me, I told on all my friends, and I am the one to organize this." If anybody that's on the other end of this camera is saying that's okay, that's cool, I'm saying to you that you're not a fair individual. And if you are a 100% legal type of individual, you know that's not justice. That's not civilian life. That's not the right type of life to live, you see? If a person starts it, again, I like to always repeat myself so you guys can get an understanding that this is not for my entertainment. What it is I need for y'all to understand clear that these are who your children look up to. They look up to these big names. They don't pay attention to the person being a rat or betraying each other as friends and things of this nature. They don't do none of that. They don't pay attention to that. Their goal is selfishness. And what ends up happening is our youth end up in the positions that I was in. Our youth are tricked and they're guided and led by an individual who told them that they loved them and that they had their back 100% as long as they move this work for them. And what ends up happening, like I said to you guys again, what ends up happening is it's recycled crime. It's over and over and over again. So the next one that gets out because he know that so-and-so told and he had 1,000,000 years to face, what ends up happening is he flips also. Now we have a community of people that are flipping and becoming confidential informants, and the government is leaving them out here to still live, to still go amongst themselves as if they're working, like as if they have a job. That's what they call it. They're working. Now, first of all, that's not a rehabilitation. You know why it's not rehabilitation? The government is enabling them. What they're doing is giving them more or less that comfortability of feeling like I'm okay. It doesn't matter what I do. As long as I can tell about what I've done to somebody or put it on somebody else and bring some other individuals with some deeper cases involved, I will just walk out the side door. That is not rehabilitation. What we go through, the stand-up guys, when we spend day for day in the can and we miss our families and we come home and do the right thing, that is what you call rehabilitation. But it's not rehabilitation by the the system that you're in, the institution that you're in, they're not doing no rehabbing in there. There's no rehabilitation. There is self-rehabilitation mentally with the strength that you have to come home and do the right thing and really have goals set up and things planned out. Because the core program and all these programs that they have, it's no honor to them because it's not explaining anything. And you'll get people in the comments that cuss me out. Oh, man, shut up. What they got to do with the kids? Again, I'm explaining it to you. A child that looks up to these individuals will continue to follow them only because of the money, the women, the fast life period. But if you bring it towards them, if you bring it to them, and you give them understanding, I'm warning you, youngin', listen. You about to get yourself caught up in a whole bunch of nonsense, because what's going to end up happening is that person's going to tell on you. And although he did, you know, bring it to you about the little scam or the little whatever, guess who's going to jail? You. And guess who's going to be free? That person. So I'm hoping when I give that person the understanding, or I give the crowd the understanding of this, that they can grasp it and say, you know what? He's right. He's 100% right. It's recycled crime. So you think about all the killers after they seen Sammy the Bull get off after all them homicides he had. Think about all the killers, even though for Alpo that had told on how much he told on, he really got the bad end of the stick. And it may have been a racist thing because Sammy the Bull got 3 years. He got 20-something or whatever, how many years he done. So he was one of the stupidest rats there ever, you know, was. That's what you can look at Alpo Martinez as. Sammy the Bull, you can look at him as one of the dumbest ones also, because what? Like I said, he came right back out into our community, and what did he do? He flooded the whole Arizona with ecstasy. So what they done was the government created a worse problem. They locked John Gotti up, boom. John Gotti's whole situation is basically done. It was nothing, no more. Whole mob, everything, the principals, honest went out the window when he went to jail. And they began to ridiculing his son and, you know, things like that. But you still got the disease out here. The person that you got to bring Johnny Gotti out just flooded the whole Arizona with drugs and stuff like that for all them years. And then you stick it to him and give him 20-something years. He supposed to got it from the rip. It should be some type of law against these rats and how they doing what they doing, because I know a lot of them bringing in innocent men in. And if that person talk to that person from time to time, they can make up a lie and make up any type of conversation and tell them people going to go with whatever codes and whatever names that rat tell them, because that's where they get the information from. But yet over in the state, a rat get on a stand, or a person that got a past, life that was horrible, the testimony, them being a witness, doesn't even, matter. They get striked from the rip. The jury or the judge can't listen to him. You're not allowed to because he's a liar. So what we need to do is we need to figure out a plan. And that plan is everybody preaching what I'm preaching to the kids. Not some people, but everybody telling these youngins, listen, go to Kingearner page, man, and listen what he's speaking about. He's speaking about recycled crime. He's speaking about individuals that start the thing, start the violence, put it in play, and then they're able to lock up everybody else that was working for them. This has become a very, very, very high commodity where people are doing this like it's nothing. You go to any state, you go in any part of the country, you have informants controlling things. So the goal is for the youngins to understand that it's that EIN number that they're searching for. But first, get that 9 to 5 and work for a couple years. Stack your money up, especially if you don't have any children. If you do have children, still you can put up $10 to every check. Doesn't matter, it adds up. We have to come together and we have to begin to understand that these things will continue to happen if they aren't brought up on it knowledge-wise. If don't nobody tell them, they're not going to know. First thing they're going to do, they're going to see Alpo. Damn, he killing it. Check him out. Got the brand new so-and-so with the so-and-so. So, oh, my goodness, check him out. He killing them, man. He got all this money. The girls messing with him. I want to be like him. Now, The person he's getting the drugs from is a rat who is selfish, that'll put him in all type of bonds and position to go to jail and don't care about him. And that youngin' thing is okay. So my goal is to, first, number one, tell you, don't deal with the streets at all, period. Number two, if you have already dealt with the streets and you already been in that route, remember, the closest person to you can be talking about rats, hate them and all that, can wind up telling on you and putting you in jail. So why even be bothered with it? The person that you running with on the streets that can be your friend or whatever could wind up what? Killing you, blowing your whole head off and you didn't even see it coming. All because of greed and things that go on in the streets. If you're not stupid, as I would say, because I was stupid, I felt like when I was doing that. Now I feel like that, but then I didn't. But now I understand how all the real OGs was telling me, youngin', you don't do that like that, and you tripping. Why are you with him, or why are you doing that? Why did you just, man, all that stuff is irrelevant. Go get some legal money, something you can keep. The government can't take that, man. I'm Kingearner from the Honor Your Life campaign, and I'm going to say it until my face turn blue. Don't you be like an Alpo Martinez. Don't you be like that AZ. Don't you be like him. Don't you be like any of them. But more than anything, don't be like Sammy the Bull, any of these rats. Don't be like none of them. Stay away from the streets. That way you don't even have to glorify the Rich Porters and all the guys that stood up. You can just be like that. You know, they were forced to that in their era. Look at us. We wasn't because we had a Kingearner to tell us what? That ain't the right way to do it. Now we got to understand it. So please, let's live now and have our communities under understanding. Kingearner live and direct.